What's up, everybody? How are we doing today? Thanks for your time. And today we are going over ports today because I had a few people say that I was going too fast in my streams. So instead of, rushing the flow and getting everything, um, just going too fast, today I'm just going to go over a few of these ports. They're going to be via HackTheBox. The two that I'm choosing today is going to be 21 and 23, and I'll explain some more important ports. And then here we go. Let's get it going. So in my other in my other video, I explained to you how ports. And the video was actually the Linux one, the first Linux basics. But after I enumerated a box for you just to show you how the flow of things go. So I explained that there was these type of ports and your goal is to get to the treasure. And the treasure could be, um, you can make it there via any of the ports that are open when you do your scan. So how I ended up showing you file transfer protocol, or I showed you 21, that is actually called file transfer protocol. It's really not open that much in newer systems, probably never. Most most defense systems will probably have all ports closed and they'll open them as needed and then they'll close them right away, which later on we'll learn how to get past that as well. But when this port is open, um, you'll do a lot of the file transfer protocols. And a protocol is just think of it as like a language. Think of it as like, if I'm speaking Spanish and you're speaking German, we're not going to understand each other. But if we're on the same protocol, I'm speaking Spanish, you're speaking Spanish, you're going to understand what I'm saying. So it's just the way of the language that this is the language, the protocol. So 22 is obviously a different language or a different protocol. It's just a way of saying communicating and network. It's one of the ways of saying communicating and network. So what we're going to do today is log into HackTheBox. It is in the starter kit, and this is a hack and chill environment. If you want to ask me anything, go ahead. Once again, if you see my profile on here, go on here and add me, show some respect if you want. Um, but anyway, so let's get it going. It's in the starting point tab. It's in tier 0. So this is as easy as it pretty much gets. And then it's showing you you're going to understand protocols, which I vaguely explained. And then it shows you some of the enumeration things you're going to go through. If you have your own VPN, you know how to set it up. Of course, do open VPN. If you have no clue how to set up a VPN, or you just want to follow along the easy way, I always recommend doing Pwnbox. Don't get stuck in the VPN, set up your own lab status until you at least know a little bit of the basics. Let's get your feet wet. So we'll go to Pwnbox. It's an online container. That's it's official. Then of course you're gonna pick the closest ping to where you are. Oh, that's crazy. India have better ping. While we're on that, shout out to everyone from other countries. I see I'm getting support from everyone in different countries. Thank you for your time. Anyway, so we're gonna go to what works for me, or I'm choosing what works for me. So United States West, and then starting point. Let me see. I'm always trying to find the one with the lowest amount of people because it just moves a little faster that way. Alrighty, we got all that going. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. It is getting ready to load up and everything is going, baby. Let's go. All right, while it loads up over here, there's some questions. Spawn the target. Let's see. We already did that. Hold on. So we're going to startup, phone box. Okay, while that opened up, we can open up the desktop and then you can spawn the machine. This is so we can get our IP address. As I explained in one of the other ones, we will definitely go over a lot of the network, at least the essentials. Like, there's so much network stuff, but I kind of feel like you only need 20% of it to at least get you rolling. So that's what I'll be doing on one of the next episodes. Same with Python and coding. I think you only need 20% to get the ball rolling. You don't need to become a full programmer or a full network technician. Okay, so while we're here, if yours is already loaded up, we can answer a few of the questions. What does the acronym VM stand for? That's pretty much super easy. Virtual machine, we all know that one. What tool do you use to interact with the operating system in order to issue commands via the command line, such as the one to start our VPN connection? Oh, that's what we talked about before. Open VPN. Oh, terminal. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, terminal. So here we go. We copy that, get our address. If you watched a few of my episodes already, a few of my lives, you already know I love to change my background. I can't do that plain stuff. All right, let's see. One second, let me do something really quick. I need to make sure I got this right. Okay, now that we logged in, we have our IP address. Uh, like I said, this one is virtual machine. That one's terminal. What service do we use to form our VPN connection into 8 HackTheBox labs? This one's OpenVPN. And this is, like I said, if you want to do it standalone. What tool do we use to test our connection for ICMP echo request? I, let's research what that means. I know what the answer is. I know it's ping because that's what it is, but I kind of want you to know what um, that actually stands for. Internet Control Message Protocol. So, Internet Control Message Protocol, that's another language, like I explained. and that language has something to do with pinging. So let's open up our terminal. Should already know I'm gonna use my baby Tmux. Control L. So before we head into um, enumerating this box, I wanted to mention to you. So on another episode, I showed you about MITRE ATT&CK. MITRE ATT&CK is this huge, huge, huge platform, big website that shows all these different attack surfaces. And as a beginner, that could be overwhelming. Like, look, there's so many different versions of reconnaissance, and then you see all of these different things you have to do in order to make it to the end. So if you want to keep it simple, this is called the uh, cyber kill chain reconnaissance, which you just probably seen with the MITRE attack. This is like, getting information about the person via email. You probably see so many spam attacks on you, and every company, um, that's people trying to hit you with a phishing attack, or either they're trying to get reconnaissance, or they're just trying to already go to the next stage and um, weaponize. It's actually both. So coupling exploit with the backdoor into a delivery payload. So this is pretty much getting that backdoor in. I explained that before. And then I like to say it's like teleporting into the network, but yeah, you have that deliverable payload. Um, and then delivering the weaponized bundle via email again, that's like a phishing. So it's kind of all of these phishing, or if someone was to try to get you on a layer one, we'll explain that with networking, um, which is physical and in front of you, or the web, which is really like a layer four, layer four through seven. But reconnaissance is to me one of the most dangerous. With on the layer one scale, to not get into this too deep, but on the layer one, there's something that people don't talk about, and I will be talking about it soon. Social engineering. I think that is one of the most like deadliest, dangerous hacking forms there are out there. Anyway, exploitation, exploiting the vulnerability to execute the code victim's system. So now this is at the point you've already cracked into it. That's what I like to say. Um, you know, cracking the box already. And then this is installing the malware or the payload. We did that a little bit with the Metasploit when we created a payload, and then command and control. At this point, you're you won. And then from here, this is just gaining access and getting what you want, getting the treasure, as I call it, getting that. So anyway, let's dive in and let's get this going. So first thing we want to do is we want to ping, copy that. We want so the command is ping. One of the options is dash C, stands for count. It wants to know how many counts. We're going to do it 4. And then the argument, which is the target, we're going to put that in. Watch the 4 counts come in. Boom. We looking good. We are looking good. All right. The important information here is there's 0 packet loss. That's not that important. 4 was transmitted, 4 was received. And then this number, like I said before, this kind of tells you what kind of box it is. So anyway, we have that going. We're going to open up another pane, which is just another window. Control B, and then Shift 5. Here we go. We got two things going. The next thing we already know is going to be reconnaissance. So the command is nmap, one of the best tools out there. Can't wait to do the nmap one. There's a lot to show you with nmap. But let me go to show you just my basic one. You probably have already seen this. I found out that uh, the SC stands for run default scripts. SV detects the versions because the versions is so important. And then that's what I like to do. And then dash PN is just to ignore a lot of the networks that are blocked. Uh, and then it's time to put in that address, the argument. So there we go. We'll go back on this side. And then let's see if this is actually a website. Like I said, this is how I do it every single time. Creating that system. Nope. We don't even got to worry about that right now. That just means port 80 and port 443 is closed. We'll get deeper into that as we go. All right. So we see that port 23 is open. Let's go over here, zoom in. All right, hold on. Control B, go over there. Control B Z to zoom in. All right, so as we see, there is this is important to know. So the first 1,000 ports, once again, are the most important ports as far as these are the actual computer ports. Like these are the protocols that we are talking about. These are the ones that are based already. And then the ones from after 1,000, I think it's up to like 10,000. Don't quote me. I could probably pull that up. But up to 10,000 is usually, these are like company owned ports. Some of them are still part of the base ports, but most of them are like company ports and other stuff like that. And then I believe it's like after 40,000 or something. Um, let's pull that up real quick. Ports that, let's see, ports, important ports. Let's see if we can get something to show up. Important computer ports. Let's see. Explained. I just found one. Okay. Let's look at this real quick. It's not about the rush, it's about understanding this stuff and breaking it down. And otherwise, you'll be like how I used to be, just running around like a chicken with my head cut off, confused. Okay, so see, you can see how, like, this is Windows Live right here. It's 6891, so that's a company, obviously. There's Google Desktop right here. MySQL. HTTP proxy, Xbox Live. While you see under 1,000 are like more of the regular protocols, HTTP, Cobros, um, yeah, Telnet, what we're doing. So just stuff like that. All right. With that being said, let's keep the ball rolling. Okay. So we have our ports, which is important, and it's going through TCP, which is Transfer Control Protocol. Like we know it's Telnet, and then we know the name of it is Linux. So the next thing that we're going to do after that is we know it's telnet, so we're just gonna telnet into something. Well, we're gonna telnet into the target address, not just something, but let's grab that address real quick. All right, what is really important is after we do that, then it has some kind of connections like the terminal, so you can kind of use some of those. It actually uses the Windows and Linux terminal. Another thing about file transfer protocol that is important is the majority of it is if it doesn't have a password, it's normally anonymous. So let's try that. Anon. Another another one is kind of like what when we check directories. So we want to try admin. Oops, it closed out. Let's try root. Okay, root was able to get in. So admin, anonymous. A lot of those are what it is. So to scroll, if you're in Tmux and you're following along, it's left bracket, control B, then left bracket. See that in the top right? Means you can scroll. And then we scroll up and we look at all this important information. So we were able to get in with root. There's a list of things you can just try for FTP, just in case you ever get in any kind of scenario or situation. But the main thing is to know um, that exists. So anyway, so we'll check. We can. This is important information to always know. Let's say we're hacking and we're actually going further than file transfer protocol. Um, you want to always try to get the server, the the version of the Linux box. This will help with um, privilege escalation later on. It'll help you with trying to find the common vulnerable exploitation, the CVE, all of that good stuff. You're using Metasploit. So anyway, shows that the IPv4 is the attack machine that we used, and then this is what an IPv6 looks like. We'll talk about that later. A bunch of gibberish for now. So anyway, let's start using our Linux skill. So ls, right away we see that there's a file and then a folder. So let's try to let's see what happens if we cat the file. Looks like we have a flag. So we could take this information over to our computer by or off of this protocol and onto our actual desktop just by putting git and then flag. Let's see. Let's see then. What I'm gonna do this time is cat. Let's see if I can just do some regular boom, and then we'll call it meow dot txt. Don't forget that this symbol it means direct, but it just means to save over to a folder or to a file, save over to something. At least the first time. The second time is two of them, two arrow, two greater than signs. Oh, so let's exit. You can either exit or you could control C. No, you can't. You can only exit. Okay, the connection's closed. Control L to close that up. Let's see, do we have that file? Where did I make that file at? Well, all in all, let's just go back and grab it and read it. Make life simple for us, for you, for me. Waiting for it to start up. Root, ls. Oh, it's saved right there. So, okay, let's just do this. All right, so for everyone, you obviously just copy this and put this down. We got that done. Let's answer the questions. So it's also known, we already know, we kind of read this one. It's also known as the console or shell. That is the terminal. What service did we use to form our VPN connection into HackTheBox Labs? That's Telnet. Oh, OpenVPN, sorry. We already did that too. And this is ping. What tool do we use to test our connection to the target with the ICMP, the Internet Control Messaging Protocol? Ping. What is the name of the most common tool for finding open ports on a target? We know that's Nmap. What service do we identify on port 23? That is Telnet. What user is able to log in? What username is able to log in with the blank password? That's root. And then we got our flag. Make sure you copy that, put it in. And that's it for meow. Let's work our way into the next one, which is fawn. Now we're going to be using a different port. So first thing is if you're still following along and you're done with that one, I believe we can keep this going. Let's see real quick. I think we all we need to do is just spawn a different machine. So let's spawn this one now. All right, I think we got to close the other one down real quick. So close this baby down. It's good practice to do that because when you get a membership, if you don't close it down and you got 24 hours, it'll just be sitting there running the whole 24 hours, which slows all the other hackers down, and then it slows your computer down, all that good stuff. So let's do that with font. Now we're gonna open that baby up, and now it's time to get the ride going, baby. Okay, while it spawns up, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. If any of that seemed a little confusing, just keep doing it over and over and over until it's like boring to you, you know. That's pretty much what I do, and that's what you're going to see me do in every stream that I have no clue what's going on. I'll obviously try to, you know, fix it, but during the hack and chills, it's all about just relaxing and hacking. How's everyone's day? Don't be shy to send me a like or a comment and talk to me. All right, we finally got this thing spun up. So we're gonna go and dive deep into this one. So this one is, um, oh, there's something really important I need to tell you about Telnet. It is deprecated. No one uses it anymore. Telnet is like, it's been replaced by SSH, which we all know a little bit about that. That's like the secure shell, and that's more of the, it's obviously the more secure way because without that, through Telnet, people can kind of read, a hacker can read everything that's going on from the beginning of the process from when you first connect to the end. So here's another one, file transfer protocol. That's what it stands for, 21. There's actually two ports associated with this one. It's 20 and 21, but 21 is the most popular. So let's close this down and just redo it. Or actually, we don't have to. Let's just close this down. Let's exit out of here. Guess we will close it because I have no clue what's going on. All right, let's just reopen it up. Team exit. Control L. We're gonna ping that thing. C with the 5 counter. All right, let's get this target. It is good practice to do this. Like I promise you, I done did some machines and I'm like, it's not working. And I'm just freaking out and it's not working. And then the whole time it was just not even connected properly. Maybe someone else who was on part of the server backed out and restarted it and you didn't know and it happened. So get that ping in first. Make sure you get real low to zero packet loss. And then you already know the name of the game. Get that Nmap going. Let's do a reconnaissance scan. Let me know if this stream is a lot more smoother than the last one. I had to upgrade my internet service. I had to learn the streaming settings. It was not easy, but 8 hours later, here I am, and I hope that it's a lot smoother than it was before. I even, if you can tell, changed the mic. Got this little pretty little furry thing. But yeah, so while that happens, I already know that it's not gonna show, but I like to keep my system. I like to keep my attack surface until I upgrade and get a new one or more. I'm gonna do what I know that works for me. So, all right, we already know port 80 is closed because this one is focused on just port 23. Baby's taking a while. I kind of feel like I'm gonna need you to figure your life out in Matt. Let's go. Yeah, it's definitely acting like it's like slow. Come on, in Matt. And in the year 2026, you know what? We're gonna do it again on this side because I just know that it's way faster than this. Oh, it's all of that. See? See how quick that was? I'm like, yeah, I know something is wrong. I know my Nmap. Okay, so let's see. All right, so what is important that we need to pay attention to once again is we're at port 21. Boom. This time we can get rid of the X and then it's TCP, Transmission Control Protocol. There's really just two on layer 4 that's important, TCP and UDP. UDP is what I'm using right now. That's Stream. It's like a non-secure um it's a non-secure network where it's just instantly flowing and constantly it may lose some packets, it may lose, but it's just going to keep going. TCP, think of it as like, a regular video. You have to press play for it to go, and then after that, it just like, it's more secure. It has, you know, it just, it's more secure and it's not constantly flowing. But what is really important right now is file transfer protocol and then the version. Like I showed you before, you want to always get into that version so you can check the CVE. Like we can go to exploit DB, throw this in, and then it's going to kind of already tell us what we need to do. Boom. So look, you can do this. Not saying we're going to do this, but it's giving you options. Hey, this is what you can do with this type of version of so always be hunting for that CVE. You're out there by yourself. You can't find any help or tutorials. This is how you do it on your own. All right, so we can see that it connect to this. Um, and then another important thing is we could tell that the service is Unix. All right, so I don't know why I got rid of that. I actually want that to stay. All right, so we're gonna FTP and then we're gonna put that target just like how we did with Telnet. This is no different than like a HTTP or any of that stuff. It's just a different protocol. So, when you put in a email ad or a website address, you put HTTP slash slash, and then you put this in, which could be called Google or Amazon or whatever, YouTube, whatever, and then .com, and then it's gonna take you somewhere. Well, you can do that via um, you can do this via telnet. I mean, through the terminal with another tool called curl and wget. We'll talk about that later. But so let's see. So we got telnet is the one where if you normally might see something and then if you don't have any credentials, you can always try anonymous, anonymous. It's just one of the default credentials. Just like how we were saying, you want to try admin, admin, root. There's a lot of ones like that, but usually anonymous is going to be your default credentials if you don't have any. Obviously, this is an easy box. Some of them you might actually need to find someone's name and find their information and all that other cute stuff. And then from here, we can use the terminal, some of the terminal commands like we normally did, ls, and then list all. And then you can see, okay, this is cool. We see the flag is right here. It doesn't, so it's a file because it doesn't show D for directory. And then remember, those first three show you your permissions. So we have read and write permissions. And then in group, we only have read. And then in other, we have read. So we don't have that much privileges, at least for this flag. But as far as the directory, look, we have D for directory. So that's directory just means folder, file, or folder, excuse me, folder. And then read, write, and execute. And then for group, we only have read. Oh, and execution. And then for other, we have read and execution. We just can't write nothing in here. But anyway, so all we need to worry about, let me see, is Telnet the one that you can get? Yeah. So I had it mixed up, but you want to use get and then flag, um, and then it remotely transferred that out, and then we can exit. You can use exit, you can use buy, it doesn't matter. We're gonna clear that up, put put some emphasis over here, get that zoom in, and then see how we have that flag right there? Boom. And then get your copy on, and then congratulations. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So then let's go through this. Um, let's see what does the three-letter acronym stand for? File transfer protocol. What port is this on? This one's 21. File transfer protocol sends data in the clear without any encryption. So that what I was talking about earlier when you can look at it with if it doesn't have any encryption, someone can look at it behind the scenes, and we will eventually be doing that. And then you can just see everything they say when they say hi, if they sent a message, hey Bobby, I need to change my password. Bobby says, okay, here's, the password reset. The other person is like, okay, my password is now Ferrari 9999, and then you can just see all of that. It's not encrypted. There's another reason why HTTP is no longer around. So if you look at different websites, you're going to always see HTTPS. If you see HTTP, don't click on it. I'm just trying to help you out. Unless obviously we're doing one of these boxes. That's why a lot of these are not HTTP. They're just showing you how to get your reps in and understand, the basics. But um, it just means that it doesn't have any encryption, and you can just literally go right on over and read what's going on. While HTTPS is secure, which has it's encrypted. You can't see it. It's gonna like all that. The password will look literally like this, and then you would have to crack it. But if someone's reading and they just see all of this, it means nothing to them. It doesn't show password Ferrari 999. Anyway, so um, what acronym is used for the later protocol design to provide similar functionality to FTP, but securely as an extension? And oh, that's SFTP. Let's go do that real quick. I didn't even put that one in there. Nope. Research, SFTP. So, oh, so that it's just like HTTP. So like secure shells for Telnet. I mean for what was the first one we did? It was for file transfer protocol. Hmm. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. Okay, so yeah, secure shell is for Telnet, and then the secured version of FTP is SFTP, so secured file transfer protocol. Same thing, it's just the upgraded version that is encrypted. What is the command we use to send an ICMP echo request connection to the target? We talked about this. Ping from your scans. What version is FTP running on the target? So we'll go back. We already got that saved. Come on. Control B Z. All right. So what version? Boom. It's this. This is your version. You need to know this stuff. So, boom. This is your version. From your scans, what OS type is running on the target? Well, we still have that information. What OS type? The service information OS type is Unix. I already knew that. I just want to go over it with you. What is the command? What is what is the command we need to run in order to display FTP client help? It's no different than how I showed you with in Linux. So whenever you want to find something out in Linux, you press ping. That's the command. Let's ping is the command, and then you either press dash dash for help. That's the long version, and then the short version is just dash H. Same thing. So go into when we went into here, we used anonymous. We used anonymous again. And then we want to find out something. FTP dash H. Oh, we don't even have to go in and do this. Cool. Even cooler. So boom. It kind of shows us whatever it's trying to show us. So oh, it's actually a question mark. It's telling me right here, and I'm not even paying attention. So if I want to use a file, I'll press FTP-U, and then I'll put in the file or the URL, which is what we did. We didn't put in we didn't put in U. I don't know what that means yet, but I will. So let's see. Let's try something real quick. See if I can just press dash and then, all right, let's see if I can press this and then dash. All right, let's see, because I want to know this. Oh, it's just saying, okay. It's just question mark. Look at all these commands we have. Oh, you can ask for regular help. If you want to set up a proxy, I'll teach you what that is later. We could verbose, which is normally V. Oh, this is really important. Let's go. Buy to get out of here. That's where that comes from. Change mode. Look at that. That's a Linux command right there if you want to gain or take away privileges. So these are just some that I see by heart. Size obviously tells you the size, what kind of system's going on. Trace is almost like a ping. It's more of like an IP config. So we can put stuff. We can print the directory, quit. So this is good. Is and this is the type of stuff you learn whenever you don't just rush straight into like don't rush. I'm telling you guys. I've been doing this for a while and I wasted a ton of months just rushing through everything. Let's take it slow. Take it slow. Anyway, so I actually want to look into this. Make dir so we can make a directory. Looks like we can delete something. Less, that's a command that just shows half of the whatever is printed. So if something was printed with like 100 lines, it may just show you the last 20. This must be to change files names. Okay, so looks good, looks good. CD, we could CD into something. Let's do that real quick. So let's CD into root and see what happens. Oh, okay, well, looks like that's all that's available. Here comes the directory listings. I see that there's a bunch of codes too. I want to know what that means too. We got one that shows 229 entering. What? Let's figure that out. FTP codes. FTP codes. It's not really telling me anything. It's just telling me what we already looked at and helped. Well, anyway, I did want to know what these meant. I'll figure it out eventually. So anyway, let's get out of here. Let's get the show on the road. Okay, what is the username? What is What is username that is used over FTP when you? That's definitely a typo, guys. Without having an account, we know if you don't know it, you can just type in anonymous. That's the default. What is the response code? What is the response code we get for FTP login successful? See? Oh, so that's called response codes. Okay. Now I know that. Now that I know that, it is going down, baby. It is going down. Okay, let's see. I want to know what this is, though. I'm thirsty. What is what are common response codes for FTP? Oh, it's this is cool. So we need to put this in. Common FTP response codes. Yeah. Oops, I did not want to go to no video. Okay. We'll pick the most boring one we can find. All right, that's not it. Hmm. Open image in a new tab. Okay. So what ChatGPT told me, I'm gonna show you that too, because they just make it way easier than what I'm seeing right now. Uh, I'm actually just print it right here. So it says 100 is informational, access, action, and progress. 200 is success. 300 further action required. 400 client error. 500 server error. Now, if you remember one of the episodes where I was explaining something, what you'll quickly realize is that is close to website or HTTP request response codes. Ah, that's what it's actually called. I never knew that. There's so much stuff to learn in here. So let's see. Opening another. Close this down. We don't need all this stuff opening. My poor little internet. All right. So as you can see with HTTP, we have information. 200 is success. 300 is redirectional. It's the same. That's cool. I wonder how many other response codes are out there. I'm not going to dive into that rabbit hole. If you're ever watching one of my chats and you see me diving in a rabbit hole, let me know because I'll rabbit hole for hours. That's what it takes, though, I believe. Um, anyway, so now we know FTP has certain responses, and if we're getting 200s, we're good. We're getting 300s, we need to watch out, and if we get 4 and 5, it's bad, bad, bad. So anyway, let's go back. What was the response code that we got? Ah, man, I gotta go back. Okay. So 200, it connected. Another one, 230 means logged in successful. 229, it's in a passive mode. I seen something about passive and aggressive, but we ain't going into that right now. And then 226 means it was correctly sent. So what are they asking us? What is the response code we get for the FTP message logged in successful? Logged in successful is 230. So there we go. We already know. Put in that magic 230. There are a couple commands. See, I rushed that. You could tell that I didn't even know. I just rushed that. There are a couple of commands we use to let the list of files and directory to know that it's available. One is dir, which means directory folder again, and dir is what you use in Windows terminal. But what is the common way we do for Linux? If you went past my Linux course, this one you should be able to do with your eyes closed. ls. What is the command used to download files? Once we get it, and we found them, and we already know that's get. That's how you download. And then there's the root flag, which we already received before. So ls once again, and then we see that. Then we get the flag, get flag file, and then once you get out of here, exit ls, and then you cat that flag just in case you missed that. Boom, there you go. All right. You know, I truly believe that we need to go over a lot of these ports. I'm glad someone asked me to go back and like talk about that more and instead of, you know, kind of rushing it. With that being said, the next video we'll definitely be going over more of the basics and more ports. I like I also said, I have a Python beginning one and a networking coming up amongst a few more learn with me and hack and chill. Um, if you have any questions, please contact me in the comments or wherever and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much, guys.